Have you ever sat in a room and realized you knew exactly what was happening behind the scenes, yet you chose not to say a single word? There is a profound, almost electric power in being the one who knows everything while appearing to know nothing at all. Most people feel an irresistible urge to prove their knowledge, to correct others, or to showcase their intelligence the moment they have an advantage. But the truly wise understand that your silence is often your greatest shield and your most strategic weapon. Today, we are diving deep into the art of restraint and why holding your tongue is the ultimate flex of character. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more updates as we explore these hidden truths of the human mind. Welcome back to the channel, where we dissect the psychological habits that lead to a more powerful and peaceful life. In this video, you will learn why the smartest person in the room is often the quietest, and how you can use this silence to gain respect and clarity. We are going to break down the specific moments when silence serves you better than any argument ever could. By the end of this session, you will view your knowledge not as something to be shouted, but as a quiet reservoir of strength. Prepare to change the way you interact with everyone around you. Let's get started on this journey toward mastering your inner world.
Knowledge is a tool, but wisdom is knowing when to keep that tool in your pocket until it is actually needed. When you know everything about a situation, you have the upper hand, and speaking too soon often surrenders that advantage for no reason. Silence allows you to observe the small details that others miss because they are too busy waiting for their turn to speak. You begin to see the cracks in people's stories and the true motivations behind their actions without ever having to ask a question. This level of observation is only possible when you close your mouth and open your eyes fully. It is about becoming a student of reality rather than a performer for the crowd.
Think about the energy it takes to constantly correct people or to jump into every debate that crosses your path. It is exhausting to be the person who always needs to be right, especially when you already know the truth anyway. By choosing silence, you are effectively deciding to protect your mental and emotional energy from unnecessary drain. You don't owe everyone an explanation of what you know, and you certainly don't owe them a correction of their ignorance. Let people believe what they want, while you sit comfortably in the clarity of your own understanding. This is the first step toward a life of less stress and more intentionality.
There is a unique kind of peace that comes from knowing you don't have to win an argument to be right. When you possess the full facts, the need for external validation simply disappears because the truth stands on its own. You find that you no longer care if someone else thinks they are winning a conversation against you. In fact, watching someone struggle to prove a false point can be quite enlightening when you aren't emotionally invested in the outcome. Silence acts as a mirror, reflecting the other person's insecurities and ego back at them while you remain untouched. It is the ultimate form of self-assurance and emotional maturity.
In many social situations, people reveal their true characters when they think no one is paying close enough attention to notice. By staying silent, you create a space for others to fill with their own words, often saying more than they ever intended to. You get to see who is genuine, who is manipulative, and who is simply trying to hide their own lack of knowledge. This information is incredibly valuable for navigating your career and your personal relationships with precision. You aren't being deceptive, you are being discerning and careful about who you trust. Information gathered in silence is information that can be used to make better life choices later on.
Silence is also a sign of immense self-control, a trait that is becoming increasingly rare in our modern, loud society. Most people react instantly to everything they hear, acting on impulse and emotion rather than logic or strategy. When you hold back your words despite knowing the answer, you are training your brain to prioritize thought over impulse. This discipline carries over into every other area of your life, from your fitness goals to your financial decisions. You become a person who acts with purpose rather than one who reacts out of habit. It is the hallmark of a leader who knows the value of timing and the weight of their own voice.
Consider the fact that once a word leaves your lips, you can never truly take it back or control how it is used. When you know a sensitive truth, speaking it can often cause more chaos than the truth itself is worth at that moment. Silence allows you to choose the perfect time to speak, if you choose to speak at all, ensuring your words have maximum impact. It prevents you from becoming a source of gossip or a pawn in someone else's social games. By keeping your cards close to your chest, you maintain a level of mystery that naturally draws people to respect you more.
They know that when you do speak, it is because you have something genuinely important to say.
Maturity is realizing that most people are not actually looking for the truth. They are looking for agreement or validation. If you provide them with the hard truth when they aren't ready to hear it, you only create resentment and conflict. Knowing everything and staying silent is an act of kindness, both to yourself and to the people who aren't ready for the facts. It allows you to navigate world with a sense of grace, avoiding the friction that comes with being the correct person in a room of egos. You let life be the teacher for others, while you focus on your own growth and trajectory. This detachment is a powerful way to stay focused on what truly matters. There is a saying that fools speak because they have to say something, but the wise speak because they have something to say. When you are comfortable with silence, you are never pressured to fill the air with empty words or meaningless small talk. You become comfortable with the stillness, and in that stillness, you find a deeper connection to your own intuition and thoughts. This inner quietude is where the best ideas are born and where the most complex problems are finally solved. By knowing everything and staying silent, you allow your subconscious to process information without the interference of your own ego. It is a state of high-level cognitive functioning that few people ever truly experience. In professional environments, the person who speaks the least is often perceived as having the most authority and confidence. When you don't feel the need to explain your every move or justify your knowledge, people naturally assume you have it all under control. Your silence creates a vacuum that others will try to fill, often revealing their own hands in the process of trying to impress you. Use this to your advantage by listening more than you talk during meetings or negotiations. You will find that you walk away with more information and more leverage than anyone else in the room. It is a quiet form of dominance that relies on psychology rather than volume.
Sometimes people will even try to bait you into an argument just to see how much you really know or to test your boundaries. Staying silent in the face of provocation is the most powerful response you can give because it shows you are unshakable. It denies the other person the emotional reaction they are looking for, leaving them powerless and frustrated while you remain calm. You aren't giving them the satisfaction of your attention or your energy, which are your most valuable resources. This refusal to engage is not a sign of weakness, but a sign of absolute self-mastery and emotional intelligence. You are the captain of your own ship, and you choose which storms are worth your time. The beauty of silence is that it leaves your options open for a much longer period of time. Once you have spoken, you have committed to a position, but while you are silent, you can change your strategy as new information comes in. You are essentially playing a game of chess while everyone else is playing checkers, thinking several moves ahead of the current conversation. This strategic patience allows you to avoid mistakes that others make in their haste to be heard. You are waiting for the perfect moment to act, which often results in a far more successful outcome than acting prematurely. It is the art of the long game, played by those who understand the value of the quiet approach. As you practice this habit, you will notice that your relationships become much more stable and less prone to dramatic shifts. You stop taking things personally because you understand the underlying reasons why people act the way they do. You see their struggles, their biases, and their fears clearly, and this allows you to respond with empathy rather than anger. Even if you choose not to point out their flaws, your silent understanding changes the dynamic of the interaction for the better. You become a grounding force for those around you, a person who is known for being steady and reliable in a world of chaos. People will begin to seek your presence simply because of the peace you radiate. Remember that you are under no obligation to be a teacher for everyone you meet in your daily life. Not everyone deserves your insights, and not everyone is capable of understanding the depth of what you know. Reserve your best thoughts for the people who have earned your trust and who are capable of appreciating the value of your words. For the rest of the world, a polite smile and a quiet demeanor are more than enough to get by without conflict. You are curating your inner circle by being selective with your communication, ensuring that your energy is only shared with those who truly matter. This selective sharing is a key component of a high-value lifestyle. Silence also helps you cultivate a deeper sense of self-awareness and honesty within your own mind. When you aren't busy trying to project an image to the outside world, you can be more honest with yourself about your own shortcomings. You start to see where you might be wrong, even if you are right about the situation at hand, leading to true personal growth. This internal dialogue is far more important than any external debate you could ever win. It is the foundation of a strong character that doesn't need to be propped up by the opinions of others. You are building a sanctuary of peace within yourself that no one else can touch or disturb. In the end, knowing everything and staying silent is about the liberation of your own spirit from the expectations of others. You are no longer a slave to the need for attention or the desire to be seen as the smartest person in the room. You find joy in the secret knowledge you hold and the quiet ways you can influence the world without making a scene. It is a path of humility, strength, and incredible internal power that will serve you well for the rest of your life. Start today by choosing one situation where you would normally speak up and instead choose to just observe. Watch what happens when you let the world spin without your intervention and feel the power that comes with it.
Thank you for joining us on this exploration of the power of silence and the wisdom of keeping your knowledge to yourself. This journey of self-discovery is one that never truly ends, and every moment of restraint is a victory for your character. May you find the peace that comes from knowing the truth and the strength that comes from choosing when to share it. Remember that your voice is a gift, and like all great gifts, it is most precious when used with care and intention. Walk forward with the confidence of someone who knows exactly who they are and what they know. Until next time, keep observing, keep growing, and keep mastering the art of the quiet mind.